In this workout, we want to dissolve the gates of the ankles. But first, let's just settle in and balance the weight in the feet. You've probably noticed as you've been standing for longer and focusing on getting the weight to really go through the feet well, the ankles are an important control mechanism. Just the right amount of bend in the front of the ankle will let the weight really spill through the feet, especially keeping you from being too far back on your heels and helping you engage the bubbling well or the ball of the foot, which can help give you structure and support all the way up through your system. We're going to work a lot with feeling how connecting through the ankles and opening the gates of the ankles will help through the feet and help make this connection to the ground even stronger. So then feeling the rest of the way up through the knees and the hips. And just checking in and feeling all the joints so that you're comfortably landing through the legs and you, as best you can, feel a symmetry through the legs for our settling in process. And gently lengthening up the spine until you get to the crown of the head. So in these last few workouts, we're going to go layer by layer through the upper body and focus on the gates of the lower body. But just take a second to feel the crown of the head settle in. Get the right sort of feel with the mind. Now start coming down through the temples, forehead, and the back of the head. And feel for a balance and symmetry here as you're coming down on the two sides of the body, front to back of the body, and through the whole upper body, even down to the joints that we'll work on in the lower body. Try to have a sense that the container is symmetrical and balanced. So instead of diving into a particular place, now do this workout as feeling for symmetry, left, right, and front to back as you come down. Through the eyes, the ears, the other gates of the head. And then down through the neck and the throat. And even if you feel twists and asymmetry, go for the place where you feel, if you need a little rotation or tilt one way or the other, go to the place where the two sides feel in balance energetically and see what that does physically. As you get down to the bottom of the throat, feeling out through the tops of the shoulders, then front, back, and sides through the joints of the shoulders, the chest, the shoulder blades, and the spine at that height. Now feeling the rest of the way down through the ribs. Feeling the vertebrae at each height and where the ribs connect and the spaces between the ribs. All the way to the bottom of the rib cage. And as you get to the bottom of the rib cage, you feel the whole belly like a big sphere. We want to practice feeling the lower dantian in the center of that sphere. So as you're feeling it, start moving the mind inward from the edges of the whole belly, everything between the bottom of the ribs and the bowl of the pelvis. Slowly, over a couple minutes, let the mind sort of seep inward from the outer edges of the skin, through all the internal organs, heading towards the lower dantian. And as the mind moves inward to feel the lower dantian, try not to feel like everything collapses inward with it. That when you start feeling into the body, in some ways you're feeling from outside, from the whole shape of the body, so that you don't contract the mind as you feel deeper inside. And now coming on to the side channels of the body, especially at the quad, feel into the hip joints, into the quad, and try to find the center of the quad. And remember, not trying to make too many physical adjustments, just feeling what's there, trying to feel the energy behind it. and let that go. And from the qua really sinking down, taking everything that started to release in the qua, having a sense of letting it drop through your thighs so you don't get stuck in the thighs. Even if the muscles of the thighs feel like they're working, just letting stuff drop down till you get to the knees. Feeling the fronts, sides, and backs of the knees first before you feel into the centers. And if your mind was really starting to stabilize at the lower dantian, as you did the qua and as you did the knees and as we're going to do the ankles in a minute, now you really want to have a feeling in the lower body that your center of gravity moves downward into each subsequent height of the joints. So if you were really feeling from the dantian, and that's where everything was centered, you kind of let it drop a level to the qua and drop a level again to the knees. And this is a big, sort of separate but related part of getting your chi to sink and deepening your root. So now trying to feel the center of your knees as your center of gravity. Now from the fronts of the knees, the backs of the knees, feeling all the tissue below the knees as if it were being pulled down, sinking through the lower legs. Falling down into the ankles. Now as you get to the ankle, it's a lot like feeling the wrist. And what you want to do first is just settle in to the fold, the crease at the top of the foot, between the foot bones and the shin bones. Feeling above and below that crease, the minor gates of the ankle. Comparing left side and right side to see how they feel, above and below. back. The gates that we're going to feel for. First, try to find and feel the Achilles tendon. And specifically feel just where the tendon comes into the heel bone. On the inside and the outside, there are two minor gates. And when you start to feel the two sides of the tendon, inside and outside, on each foot, it can help you sort of get a sense for your whole shin, ankle, and foot alignment. Now feeling the ankle bones, the round bones on either side of the ankle joint. Right at the center of those, on the surface of the body. Just like we dissolve the sides of the wrists and the elbows and the knees. And now, as you feel into the center of the ankle joint, try to let the mind stabilize in the center of the joint, as if it were another center of gravity for you. So it might feel like your whole body above the ankle is falling into the ankle. That's what we want. Let your ankles kind of catch you and hold you up. Good, and whatever sense of balance and symmetry you have now from your ankles, just let everything else start to release. Let it pour down through the feet. through the bones of the feet, sinking. You'll really start to get to feel the feet well. And it'll make sense that you can sink through the foot and have the soles of the feet release, as well as the tops of the feet. Have everything more smoothly, more easily, and more seamlessly connect into the floor. Just that contact, giving it an extra minute to feel that connection and that soaking in, really pays off long term as you develop a smooth flow from the head all the way down into the earth. Okay, good job.